Hey everyone, welcome back. You're watching Game of Fiend. Press start to play India ka #1 podcast. My name is Manas. With me, Darren and Sushir.
Heyo.
Hello.
And yeah, Raj, in my opinion, this was one of the best showcases, like as a package. Even with the bad games, like in terms of what I want to see na actual gameplay. Even if game मुझे पसंद नहीं है, like gameplay दिखा रहे हैं proper. Ubisoft का showcase I thought was very strong in that sense. Prince of Persia का ट्रेलर भी था, गेमप्ले भी था, quite a lot of gameplay. इसका Avatar, Frontiers of Pandora, quite a lot of gameplay, and उसका later 4K footage, very crisp. Star Wars Outlaws का finally gameplay, holy shit, वो that looked like a massive studios का Division वाला level वाला ट्रेलर, एकदम नकली हो सकता है, और it can be something mind blowing. And छोटा stuff, not छोटा, Just Dance दिखाया, Crew Motorfest दिखाया, that was kind of cool. Anything else I'm missing? I think I'm missing something
Mirage.
big. Mirage, Sanskrit. Mirage का तो काफी like a 8 minute they showed like a fairly good amount of gameplay. So we'll talk about all of it. Ubisoft had a good and actually मुझे ये देख के एक चीज तो सबसे पहले I think we can just start discussing कि we saw a future for Ubisoft. Like काफी टाइम से ऐसा लग रहा था ना कि like it's in trouble. Are they focusing too much on Assassin's Creed? ऐसा कुछ नहीं लगा. Like it looked like they had strong big name IPs coming out. I wanted to start with talking about Frontiers of Pandora, Avatar की ना मुझे ये लगा कि Far Cry formula है पूरा, but I don't think there's anything wrong with the Far Cry formula. It's the setting and जो repetition है जो थोड़ा ज्यादा हो गया. For a setting this different, I think this can be a lot of fun. Even with the same towers and everything, like dude, don't you want to climb up places in Avatar game? Like वो view मिलना, that is like a good appeal, no? Like better than like एक boring vista या like a same vista में देखने. Like this is the difference I think. And yeah, again, first person भी था, जैसे Star Wars तो third person था, this was first person, and shooting both the bow and arrow stuff भी है, वो भी है, the machinery, well, advanced weaponry and everything. Like, look kind of fun, looked very pretty. I hope that this runs great on consoles. What do you guys think?
I'll go first. First of all, like you said, na, कि Ubisoft ka had probably the best presentation. Even I agree. I think we make a lot of fun of Ubisoft in general. But I think this time around, they probably had the best presentation out of everyone. Xbox, SGF, PlayStation, Capcom, RGG. Like, out of all of them, I think Ubisoft had the best one because they actually announced things, showed things, and बड़ा लंबा दिखाया for all the good things that they talked about. ना ये नहीं बोला कि भाई Outlaws भी बोला 2024 आ रहा है, but अभी ये लो अच्छा gameplay देख लो. So that was good. And Avatar तो I didn't expect it to be a first person Far Cry like game. मेरे को लगा third person कुछ होगा like with a lot of Uncharted type gameplay maybe, क्योंकि it थोड़ा वो Avatar वाला world lends itself to that, like lot of exploration and climbing and all of that. तो मेरे को लगा कि उस type का होगा, but interesting take. And first, I was put off by the fact that it's a Far Cry clone, but then I realized कि I enjoy playing Far Cry games as much as I dislike the sameness. It's still a lot of fun to play. And like you said, ना वो tower होगा, but this time instead of tower it might be a huge tree that you have to climb. Like that could be fun. Like just the view at the end of it will probably be worth it. Climbing that massive like tree or something. So I think it will be fun. Visually though it looks really good. Like really good. I think ये वही Snowdrop engine पे है ना?
Yeah.
Massive का. Looks amazing. They showed PS5 का gameplay, or at least the 4K one that I saw. उसमें नीचे लिखा हुआ था कि captured on a PlayStation 5, and वो 30 FPS था. But still like technical level पे it looked amazing, and I am sort of, and it has online co-op, 2-player online co-op, which is also great like for a game like this where you can mindlessly go and do things from what it looks like. So I think this will be a like almost like get a Far Cry wala score, but then thoda sa upar because it's like a new IP like from Ubisoft, attempting a new IP and all of that. So I'm excited for this to see what they can do, like taking the Far Cry formula, giving it to Massive, and what Massive can innovate on it with the Avatar world and universe.
Personally, I feel it's like a difficult task to, combat here. Like the Pandora is itself so well fleshed out, especially in the movie, that it's very difficult to capture the essence of it in video games. But it's looking good, and I do think there is a requirement of a Far Cry like game every 1.5 years for people. People want that कि हाँ ठीक है ऐसा कुछ game रहे. I just hope थोड़ा Avatar वाला essence भी रहे उसमें. I mean, it is lending heavily from the Far Cry formula, but उसमें थोड़ा Avatar वाला feel भी रहना चाहिए. Which makes it feel that कि हाँ this is like Navi के बारे में है. This is like about the fight. This is about something like that. Hopefully that message is much more prominent than just running and gunning and trying to kill human beings and stuff like that. The flora and fauna looked amazing, and I mean night. I can't wait to see night in that game. I mean रात होने से पूरा Pandora तो चमकने लगता है.
Oh my god! You just made me think of it like on an OLED with HDR on. Like it's sort of Horizon does it a little bit like really good nights and like colorful wo Pandora wala view, and this though will be insane.
Because I don't think we saw night in the trailer, right?
We saw like early night, thoda bright wale nights. We didn't see like dark.
Right.
From what I remember.
Yeah. And there are a lot of animals like which is going to be an interesting thing regarding that. Wo jaguar wala and stuff like that. I hope getting to that Turuk Maktau. What is that? The flying thing? Am I saying the name right? Turuk Maktau, right? The one.
I think that is the guy
who
flies
that
it.
Was in the movie. Okay.
So
yeah. So I hope the flying is much more. It feels biological rather than like a plane. Like I hope there is a little bit of a error in it. Like thoda ebb, thoda flow. एक animal के तरह रहना चाहिए, and that will make it more interesting. But apart from that, I really liked it.
Yeah.
But you touched on a interesting thing where you said na ki it should touch upon the not just the gunning part, but also the avatar part of it, right? Which I think Far Cry games have that start off very strong. Far Cry games always start off very strong, but then the story just nosedives at one point. I think all the previous 3 sort of nosedives after a certain point. 4 ka to I genuinely don't even remember what was happening. 5 and 6 also they start off so really cool, and then they just keep going down, and it's not even relevant at one point in the story, right? You're just doing things. So I hope this game they do, because it's James Cameron is maybe in some way attached to it. So I hope that they do take a note from that and have a strong narrative to tie everything together. And they also talked about, I think Manas had sent some interview where they're talking about sustenance, and how they don't want it to be just you're stealing resources.
Right,
they
absolutely.
Want it to be you are part of the environment, and you have to be ecological about the things you are taking from the environment.
I think that's Cameron's message over there. But that's why I hope there is not a mission where you have to carve a wallet by killing 10 animals. I mean, that would complete. Again, I am wrong regarding this. I must be wrong because it's an Avatar game. They'll have some understanding regarding that. I'm just making a joke here, but I hope they get the tone right. I mean, it's important to get the tone right, and the tone will also set it a little different from whatever Far Cry has provided till now. And that, yeah.
What do you think, Mans?
Yeah, I agree. I'm excited to see this. Far Cry se mujhe itna koi problem nahi. I just want it to be good and fun and a little different. Mechanics nahi, at least a setting. And yeah. What's the next game that you want to jump into?
Why don't we talk about Mirage?
Go for it.
थोड़ा बात करते हैं क्योंकि because it's I mean Upar का सबसे favorite game होने वाला है. So I hope
also मेरा भी just because मेरे fantasy में. But yeah,
I'm actually rooting for Upar and Darren here because I it's suddenly you find a you liked the game series and then it had थोड़ा भटक गया था बीच में मेरे लिए. I mean मेरे लिए game नहीं बना रहा था और and suddenly it's feeling a return back to the roots where a kill is a kill and there are no RPG numbers spewing out of any place that you hit it. And I think that for me is like the biggest thing that I'm looking forward to in Assassin's Creed Mirage. एक ग्लास कैनन हिटमैन जैसा फील है जिसमें लग रहा है कि वो हमेशा थोड़ा भाग रहा है, थोड़ा कॉम्बैट को अवॉइड करने का कोशिश कर रहा है, कभी परस्यूट पे आ रहा है तो ही इज थ्रोइंग थिंग्स डाउन, he is trying to evade by throwing smoke bombs and stuff like that, and he is like doing this like beam hops, फिर वो कॉर्नर पे स्पिन कर जा रहा है सामान, like rope lifts and all things are back, riding the poles across the gaps of the river. By the way, Baghdad is looking really good, like 9th century, and the thing about it is that it's dusty, it looks very like bright and everything, but yeah the CS2 ka dust too, but also we need to remember that they also showed the Tigris River. The Tigris River is also going to make a appearance here. Pehle wale games mein river something, Assassin's Creed 1 में that was not a big part of it क्योंकि पानी में तुम नहीं जा सकते थे, and this will be an interesting way to look at it. उसका tool set भी मुझे बहुत मजा आया देख के, very limited, 5 या 6 items है total, and they concentrated on upgrading the blow dart wala cheez. It can, you can damage, you can make someone sleep, you can make someone go berserk and throwing knives and all of that, and it I don't know, it just made me feel that all the things that I liked about it was social stealth and bribing the guards and stuff like that, all the things are making a return. And assassin matlab stealth, assassin matlab ये नहीं कि मतलब 2 छुरी लेके 100 आदमी को मारने के लिए दौड़ गए, वो assassin नहीं होता है. I mean, give it a different name. That's not an assassin anymore. Assassin is like who has a plan, who has a strategy. एक जगह जाता है and makes his way through and comes out of it like एक how will I say, like a पुराने ज़माने के वो Japanese ninja and or something like that. So I'm really liking whatever they showed, and I'm happy about the fact that they returned to this. And the last thing that I want to say about it is that there are 3 things which it's doing well, and I want to put it into context into recent statements made by other developers and publishers. Matt Booty and people from, I think, Pavel Sasko and other people.
Matt Booty.
They have been talking about the fact that nowadays AAA games are taking more than half a decade to make, and that is creating like a big time difference between the time where they are starting work and where it's being shown, and by the time it's going to come out, it's a long time. I appreciate the fact that this might be like a 15-hour game, I think.
Yeah, 20-hour game.
15 to 20-hour game. I like the fact that it's a smaller game. I like the fact that because it's a 15 and 20-hour game and Ubisoft is feeling that they're short-changing customers because it's not a 200-hour adventure anymore, that's why they're taking like $40-50. 45 ले रहे हैं? 50?
Oh,
50, yeah.
$10.
The price is right. It's rightly timed. ऐसा नहीं मेरे को 100 घंटा उस पे नहीं बिताना. I like to go there, spend 20 hours deep, concentrated story, come out of it. ऐसा नहीं मेरे को 100 जन को assassinate नहीं करना. पुराने Assassin's Creed की तरह अगर 12 जन ही को assassinate करने का रहे तो that will be a great thing. And the fact that I think Alan Wake is doing that, and going forward, many other companies might start doing it too, which is a digital-only game. I know Assassin's Creed Mirage is not a digital-only game, right? But it's primed for that. It's primed for being a digital-only game by reducing its price. It's primed for that kind of a thing. Going forward, I think many publishers will try to cut costs by making it digital-only, a smaller, more definite AAA, which might take 2 to 3 years instead of the whole 5 that another, a game that, because it's a bigger risk to do that. So I think it's playing to its strengths, and Ubisoft is also checking the market by seeing कि हाँ लोग तो बोल रहे थे, let's see if they pay for it or not. Let's see if they buy it. And I do see some positive momentum regarding it. For people who had left it, they will be coming back. And for people who had already playing it, this will be like a different flavor for them. Yeah. So,
Sushil, I have one question. So they showed a lot in this trailer. What did you think about the magic aspect of it? I've seen a lot of people like it has divided at least the Assassin's Creed subreddit is divided on the fact that Basim has some sort of magic. Even like if you played Valhalla, you know exactly what's happening. But he at one point they show him like teleport and get 3 kills back to back, right, without getting spotted. What do you think about that, like being in this?
So let me compare this to a formula that Ubisoft has copied it from. ठीक है, और वो खुद यूबीसॉफ्ट का फॉर्मूला है, ठीक है. It's directly copied from the fact that Splinter Cell mark and execute. Splinter Cell mark and execute का जो चीज था, where you could like mark 3 people or 4 people together and chain it all together, and suddenly in 1 second the thing will be done. I think that leads to a lot of stylistic gameplay. थोड़ा स्टाइल आता है, थोड़ा फास्ट पेस्ड रहता है. So if you are in a place where I don't think it will be possible to do it in any place. I think it will be only be possible to do it in certain places, and I think you'll have to even fill up the meter to do that. You will not be able to do that willy-nilly. So especially when you'll be doing it in a closed space where you can actually hop, skip, and move from place to place, then I don't see anything wrong with that. On the other hand, I looked at it and I was like, "Ooh, flashy! This looks nice." I really like the fact that Basim could do that. I don't think there is any like what magic behind it, and the fact I think that the game is not utilizing the वो future वाला aspect this time around. I don't think इस बार कोई future
I don't think there's any
कोई
modern
scene
day
है.
stuff.
Yeah, modern day कोई stuff नहीं है. And I hope he leans in a little close and says Rekuchat in Pache kind of thing. Takes a feather, marks the blood with it as proof and stuff like that.
Feather ka to they've shown, which is pretty cool to see.
So I don't want to collect 100 feathers. I just want to collect the ones that I kill.
करना पड़ेगा.
But yeah, I agree with most of what you guys said. बस मुझे एक ही था कि ना, like I wish combat थोड़ा और different लगता. And my only concern with the stylistic thing that you mentioned ना, वो तीनों को बस ये था कि it just feels like थोड़ा strategy, like the tenseness of like creeping, crawling around and going after them one by one, वो थोड़ा सा निकल गया. But ठीक है, हाँ, I mean that's not what you're doing all the time. अगर गेम continuously like lets you keep filling that meter up, तो फिर थोड़ा automated वाला feel आएगा. But yeah, once if you have to earn it and like special moments where you do that, then you get the final kill. I think then that can also feel kind of strategic in its own way.
Right.
So yeah, I look forward to it. Like वो simplified थोड़ा nature, the parkour and everything. I wish Unity वाले direction उन्होंने और लिया होता. Even in a more contained setting. Or at least tech wise उन्होंने crowds वगैरह खोले, but it still looks very pretty. And like you said, वो जो destroy वगैरह करा है, किसी की रेडी तोड़ के भाग, like all of that looked like वो dust वगैरह उड़ रहा है, it looked damn cool. At least उन्होंने ट्रेलर में ऐसा दिखाया था. So I'm excited for it.
और ऐसे प्रेडिक्शन तो नहीं करना चाहिए, पर मेरे को लगता है कि दिस विल बी वन ऑफ दोस गेम्स जैसा कैपकॉम ने रेसिडेंट इविल रीमेक करके जैसा फील हुआ था ना, sales देख के. I think this might turn out to be one of those things for Ubisoft, because I know many people who look at the numbers required to complete, hours required to complete a game like Odyssey or Valhalla, and then don't go into it. Like they just avoid it. So I think something like a 15-20 hour contained experience would be a big draw and a big sell, especially in this market. So I think maybe we'll get to see something like Unity.
Like I think Manas mentioned that they didn't lean heavily enough into Unity. I think this might be their Resident Evil remake, like small experiment, doing the $50 experiment. Like Mirage was meant to be a Valhalla DLC originally, and then the scope grew larger and larger, so they made it its own game. And I think they've toned down like wo fantasy the Odyssey, Valhalla wala trilogy wala stuff, and made the gameplay more like old Assassin's Creed, and they're gauging to see, I think, okay, will this sell or not?
Maybe,
because if it sells, I think they might then be like, okay, lean more into Unity and have those two branching things going on, right? Assassin's Creed, I think, which one is it? Red, whichever is the Japan one, will be more like Odyssey and Valhalla, while their next whatever maybe Hex might be more like Mirage and Unity, where it goes more towards the shorter game, more compact, more parkour based and close knit. I think whatever they showed, I am excited. I've played almost every Assassin's Creed game, mainline one at least, and Mirko, like Origins was good, but it again, to me, because it was not a contained story, itna ghoom phirna tha and like so much grinding and all that, I got pulled out of the story, and the story felt like it was missing things. Like the whole Aya aspect of his wife was missing. Bayek ka story, I feel, could have been told more, but I want more of Bayek, but they're not giving it for whatever reason. Odyssey though is the one game I could not beat, because it's just too far from Assassin's Creed for me. I could not play it for what it was. And I might revisit it at some point, but Valhalla I played it for a review, before the game released, and again too bloated. I feel does like it seems to perfect the new Assassin's Creed formula, but I don't like it. So I'm happy to see Mirage like go back to that, and I hope like it is more of a Hitman than an modern Assassin's Creed. I hope
Right.
there are more environmental destructible, more environment options. Like he's standing and talking to those ladies. वहाँ अंदर घुस के ना crowd में. I want more of that. I want more of getting into the crowds, more of like having those high points to scout an area, using your bird. Like, but again, I'm not a big fan of the bird, but ठीक है डाल दिया. They have like a limit to how you can do it with the archers and all. They brought back Eagle Vision, which is lore wise it is because you are a special person, like you have special blood, so you can do that. So okay to see it here. And the what do you say, wo jo weapons वगैरह दिखाए, the tools, that is also like brought down, and it's more aligned to being a silent assassin,
Yeah.
right? Smoke bombs, wo darts, all these things that were there in previous games, but now they are focused more on
Right.
as your upgrade tree.
The last thing that I want to add is that वो Assassin's Creed का platform का क्या नाम है?
Nexus.
Nexus. I think
Is it Nexus or Infinity?
Infinity या
yeah.
Nexus कुछ भी, Infinite Nexus जो भी है.
Nexus is the VR one.
Yeah. So the platform lends itself actually quite well to such smaller experiments, rather than like an Assassin's Creed fan waiting for like 4 years or 5 years for the next Assassin's Creed to come on that kind of a platform. These smaller experiences would make a lot of sense, and I personally think it will sell a lot. I mean, people are short on time. They want to play a good game, and these kind of games would lend itself quite easily to that format. Like, it's like a 2020 kind of Assassin's Creed for them. Like, koi jagah mein gaye and do the missions, do the stuff, have a different kind of a flavor regarding that, and then a few years later, 2 years down the line, you have another smaller game. So I feel they might have a winner in their hands, but let's see. I mean,
I also think like they're not like Assassin's Creed. All the Assassin's Creed games up to now are not. None of them are bad games. They are good games. Like even the abhi recent trilogy, they are like, if you are a fan of that period या that area या कुछ, right? Origins का Egypt is amazing. Like if you just go, that's why they made that कौन सा वो history वाला mode ना. Where you can just walk around, no combat,
all
no
three
nothing.
of the games, Discovery, I think.
Discovery mode, where you can just like like get the history of the place and all of that. Odyssey also looks amazing, like the waters and Greece ka pura setting, and Valhalla also like with the English countryside and all that looks amazing, architecturally mind-blowing wo sab. But it's the narrative and the cohesion wala aspect which is missing from those games, where because of that RPG level gating and all, you're just doing random shit for so long and like passing the time just to get to the next story content which you're interested in but you can't get to.
Right. So yeah. Manas,
Yeah.
You have any thoughts, parting thoughts regarding it?
No, I'm looking forward to it. Just
remember, Assassin's Creed is a good franchise.
Always. But I'm hoping for the direction जो Darren कह रहा है ना कि हाँ experiment है and then they'll evolve from this.
Yeah.
वैसे speaking of experiments, the Prince of Persia game जिसके बारे में हम 2 मिनट तो shout out दे सकते हैं. I honestly बोलूँ तो मुझे ऐसा लगा कि yeah, this looks fine. मतलब this looks like any other game, man. मुझे बस वही लगा प्रॉब्लम ना कि like I mean कुछ personality ज्यादा नहीं दिखाई इसमें. It looked very generic अभी के time में. That was my only complaint. नहीं तो I think it can be a fun game. Like if you want to play something like this looks fun. Prince of Persia वाला कुछ vibe भी नहीं है, but maybe they can do some of that in the story. I
think the powers at the part where they were leaning onto like being like वो Prince of Persia, like the time rewind powers and all of that was what they were like pushing. Like they pushed for like being like, oh, you have these powers where you can manipulate time.
Yeah.
I think that is their hook for the Prince of Persia part.
Yeah. What do you think, Sushir?
I think it's a good experiment that they're trying to do. Side-scrolling adventure है, which you're calling it open world somehow, right? वैसा कुछ बोल रहे हैं क्या?
हाँ?
वैसा term दिए हैं क्या?
First open world side-scrolling game.
Yeah. What is Hollow Knight फिर?
Yeah, but Ubisoft का marketing है.
Could be the first open world game for them.
Give me a second, I'll check it out.
Maybe Ubisoft का first open world game है ना? Because Rayman is all legend, like legends के around levels.
Oh, it's a 2.5D platform action adventure video game. Okay, so no open world regarding that. So मेरा इसमें कुछ understanding में गलत हुआ होगा. पर yeah, the visuals are good and everything, but it's not the thing that I want. So I think that the disappointment stems from the fact that it's not the thing that I want. It's
The
not
disappointment comes from the name.
right. I mean, if this was like, you know, I said that during the stream, if this was like वो जो एक mythological beast वाला Immortals, वैसा नाम करके कोई ये game निकाल देते तो I don't think this would have. But I think the name also carries the fact that it'll get some
eyeballs on it.
Eyeballs and purchases on it. And people will try to play that. But yeah, I mean, they do a lot of side-scrolling games. Rayman भी करते हैं लोग. So yeah, Prince of Persia.
मतलब technically Prince of Persia is in the game. He's just not in most of the game.
Right.
Well, speaking of open worlds.
Yeah.
Open world game की बात कर लेते हैं. They give you another one. Star Wars Outlaws. Holy shit, dude. ये तो बहुत सुंदर लग रहा था. It looked so pretty, unrealistically pretty. Yes, सुंदर, good visuals. Hair and all like looked very nice. Lot of lighting. Areas, locations में variety. The mood, draw distance, the mood and all, and जितना trees and all the foliage was moving and all. And ऊपर से like the combat looked, मुझे ऐसा लगा कुछ बहुत next level देख लिया मैंने, but it looked fun. Like, you know, like a fun third person combat को लग रहा था. इसमें lightsaber वगैरह नहीं है ना, it's like all shooting and all.
No.
Yeah, which I'm kind of happy about. कि ना ये division वालों का third person shooter I want to see. इसमें cover वगैरह like snap to cover नहीं दिखा मुझे. Which I'm wondering like what they'll do, but like division is like one of the best third person shooters.
Cover लिया था ना वो?
Cover लिया, मुझे लगा she was crouching only behind cover.
He was crouching behind that thing.
Not snap to cover वाला. But yeah, that's like मतलब वो game looked like a lot of fun, fast paced, and end का जो montage भी दिखाया था, holy shit, dude, like locations that they showed. And they also
awesome. They looked awesome.
Yeah, good variety.
पूरा एकदम.
तो but मुझे I'll just say this, I mean ये discuss करने की जरूरत नहीं है. This is not Starfield. Like वो ambition नहीं. It's a different kind of. This is more like a maybe even a more open version of वो जो Jedi Survivor था. It could be something like that. मुझे ऐसा लग रहा है. But they also claim that this is like the first open world Star Wars game. So what do they mean? Like, because I am expecting different planets. So when you have,
I imagine hub worlds.
Hub worlds, हाँ, like लेकिन वो भी तो Jedi Survivor तो वही था, like hub worlds. तो why call this a first?
Why call it an open world?
Like is it like doing something else on scale? Like,
and that is the concern that I had when I started looking at it. I think I missed out the fact that they said open world or something at the start. I don't know whether they said that.
नहीं, उन्होंने कहीं बाद में उस पे आर्टिकल में डाला.
मेरे को देख के लगा कि मतलब this is वो Uncharted का competitor type लग रहा है. बहुत ही बढ़िया graphics है. बहुत ही बढ़िया देखने में and stuff like that. This will be like closed kind of environments, hub type environments, so you'll be moving on from one area to another. And then later on I was like open world. जब open world बताया, then I was like a little concerned. Because so much detail, there's a lot of detail packed into every screen, every place that you're going there. वो Star Wars का lore और Star Wars का detail एक बहुत बड़ी तरीके से वो है game में. So I'm a little concerned about the fact as to why they're calling it like open world. Maybe just like कि थोड़ा ज़्यादा बड़ा है and stuff like that. But also the fact I want to give it a comparison, and don't take this as a negative. But Division के पहले वाले trailer में I think everyone remembers it. Amazing, like almost scene by scene. There's a place where the firefight starts and you start crouching behind a police car.
Yeah.
And you take your hand and you put the door back, right? And फट गई थी देख के, मतलब इतना मजा आया था देख के कि क्या किए, मतलब there are so subtle touches and stuff like that कि कहीं से जा रहा है तो you know he's touching the place and everything and going, तो मतलब वो टाइप का डायनामिक एक पर भी एक स्क्रिप्टेड एक टाइप का नेचर उसमें. I think I saw some of those things in this game, in the location in which he was fighting and everything, and I think that might be a red flag.
I was about to say, is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I think it's a red flag because there was nothing like that in the main division game, right?
Yeah,
main division game में वैसा कुछ नहीं था.
तुम door बंद कर सकते थे, but it was nothing like this.
Right.
I think like first of all, like if you only watch the live stream, go back अपने phone पे या कहीं पे भी, if you have a 4K screen तो जरूर देखो उस पे.
Oh yeah.
Watch the 4K version of this because it is not 4K 30, it is 4K 60 FPS. There is also an ultra wide version of it, I think so, that Manas had shared. I forgot कहाँ
वो
पे.
गेमर साइड वाले
हाँ.
वेबसाइट पे वो खतरनाक फुटेज है वो तो.
It's like itni like you. This is the first time we heard of the game was last week, Summer Games Fest, I think so.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Xbox Showcase, I think so. And now, like 2 days after announcing it, they're showing off gameplay. वो भी gameplay like that's not like 30 FPS पे दिखा रहा है थोड़ा अटक रहा है. It looked
Gorgeous,
amazing.
gorgeous.
Like when I saw it on the stream, I thought कि हाँ it looks good, but it's good. It's nothing, mind blowing. फिर जब मैंने बड़े स्क्रीन पे टीवी पे 4K पे देखा, I was like, man, क्या detail है. Like in when she comes out and she's like riding the bike, right? You can see in the distance, you can see those rocks formations, वगैरह वगैरह. You can see the foliage, and I was like, why is there so much detail to that? So it does feel like a trade show wala demo where they make things look pretty, but at the same time, I think it might actually be a end up happening. Maybe thoda they might scale some things down, but it still looks amazing. The art direction is very good, very strong. Like they're going for a lot of light, a lot of bright colors, along with the Star Wars wala, wo aesthetic pura, which you can see like starting the moment the trailer starts off, you can see it just screams Star Wars. And for the open world thing, I think they will have because it's like Outlaws, right? You might have bounty hunters chasing you, the Empire chasing you. You might be chasing someone else. Like, isme they make sure that decision, right? Ki
Mm-hmm.
bribe the person or
Mm-hmm.
not bribe. And she doesn't bribe, and she comes out, and immediately like the screens are like, this person is wanted, right? And the game is like, get out now, leave the planet immediately. So I'm thinking like, oh, what happens if you bribe the person? Do you just get to hang around that planet without a wanted level? Because there is a wanted level system. You can see on the top left there is like wo Empire ka logo hai, and it's half filled when she does not bribe the person.
Right.
Which and then the TIE fighters show up, and then they jump to hyperspace. So like to me it means ki there will be a bigger open world with maybe more to do, more side quests to do, merchants to talk to, like missions to take from people, maybe bounty hunting and all that. And also we've not seen abhi tak, at least if from far they showed this planet which I think is Kajimi, which is in episode 9. Spoiler alert, it blows up in episode 9. But they showed like that, they showed some other like big like cities like with a lot of lights and all, but we never got to see close up. We saw a market area like in that green wala, with a lot of trees and all in it. So I want to know, like, is there a city like place? Because if there is, are those buildings explorable? Can you go take vertical ground? Because what we saw was just a small tavern and like small buildings. So can you maybe get a jetpack or rocket boosters to travel vertically upwards and like explore vertically as well? Maybe that's what they mean by open world. Ki you can have all these areas to explore, unlike Jedi Survivor, which is a Metroidvania, right? You unlock only through progress, but वो बाकी सब तो you cannot find those areas. But इसमें
Because
maybe you can go wherever you want.
because इसमें वो Starfield वाला भी trick था. You get into the ship and there is a loading screen.
Yeah.
That's a loading screen. It's a SSD पे रहेगा. It'll be seamless. मतलब तुमको लगेगा कि हाँ मतलब
दो loading screens थे. One is
Yeah.
when you're taking off, and one is when you're exiting the atmosphere.
Right. And I just feel that the open world moniker for this, I mean, I don't know, because it does seem like a lot of very detailed hub areas rather than open world. But I there must be some reason why they're saying open world. क्यों बोल रहे हैं, क्या बोल रहे हैं, थोड़ा देखना पड़ेगा. I just hope it's a very focused thing again. Like, this is something that I want to say.
It's not Far Cry.
थोड़ा मतलब फार क्राई वाला नहीं फील रहना चाहिए इसमें, because this is completely single player. There is no
Co-op, no online.
there's no co-op, nothing, no online regarding that. So I just hope that it is very singularly focused regarding the story, and because it nails the audio, it nails the fonts and icons and menu design,
the UI and everything.
It's just classic Star Wars. I just hope they nail the feel of the fact that matlab, a bounty hunter means there's like a larger mission at play and stuff like that. And
because they do show things like they show so they show the two like main factions, the Pikes and the Huts, which is like Jabba the Hutt ka congregation, and like they show Han Solo in carbonite being moved, and Jabba the Hutt. So maybe there is a thing like, how does Han Solo get transported, maybe, or something about regarding the whole thing. because there is a bigger story. I was listening, there is the audio commentary hai, with the game developers and I think some of the directors, and usme they talk about like your companion, that you know your companion has been with you for a long time, but it's from a planet and a species that is unknown.
Oh.
So I'm pretty sure that that's going to come into play at some point. Uh, and because it's Star Wars and because of the universe is used, they can make whatever story they want,
Right.
and just touch upon like the main canon and like just skim past it. Acha, this was happening simultaneously because there is a gap between episode 5 and 6. So that is what they're aiming for, and so I'm hoping that the story is like narratively strong, because I don't know what else they'll do. Even with the RPG elements for choosing wala, I hope it's got a end point in sight where it tells a full story and it's not sequel bait as well, because I don't know where it would go.
I have a feeling that this is like a fully open world game, proper Ubisoft style. मेरा होप है जेडाई सर्वाइवर जितना स्टोरी डाल पाए, बट दे टुक अ लॉट ऑफ टाइम विद दैट स्टोरी वैसे, एंड उतना ओपन नहीं था वैसे ना, इट वाज नॉट लिनियर, बट मतलब उसका डायरेक्शन काफी वैसे थोड़ा ब्रांचिंग पाथ्स थे बट मोस्टली लिनियर. But yeah, this looks very impressive. So and more Star Wars like through games, I would love to absorb it क्योंकि मैं movies तो देखता नहीं हूँ. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. इसके अलावा क्या था? There was smaller stuff, right? Motorfest. Skull and Bones जो finally they're threatening to धमकी दे रहे हैं कि निकाल देंगे हम ये गेम, खेलना पड़ेगा तुम्हें. गेम पास पे आएगा यार ये गेम, डोंट प्ले इट. It doesn't seem. Yeah. But उसके अलावा क्या वो Crew Motorfest? That looked kind of fun. सुशीर ने एक सही चीज बोली थी वैसे कि during the stream कि ना अगर इसमें टाइटल ना दिखाओ तो this you can put Horizon on it and it look like a Horizon game. मुझे लग रहा है उससे slightly मतलब visually कुछ तो मुझे ऐसा एक some position में जो which I think was a plus point in the Star Wars game कि ना shaders अलग लग रहे थे एकदम कि ना उसकी vibe ही अलग आ रहा है. But then this game it looked थोड़ा inconsistent for whatever reason, I don't know. थोड़ा वैसा वाला वो आ रहा था, तो इसलिए उसका क्वालिटी थोड़ा ऊपर नीचे डिप हो रहा है, बट है they're doing Horizon I guess. Which I think makes sense.
Yeah, it's good. Like Horizon is not a bad thing. If you can make a Horizon game, for me the complaint to Horizon is game is super fun, but there is no sense of progression.
Yeah.
तुम्हें गाड़ी वो फेंकते हैं तुम्हारे मुंह पे कि लो गाड़ी लो, ये भी लो, ये भी लो, and you don't know what really to do for it. Like there are races and all, the game tells you, oh now you unlocked ये वाला race. जो people will call you and tell you, अच्छा यहाँ जाके ये race कर लो, but it does not feel fun. वो sense of achievement नहीं आता.
वो देगा Ubisoft, don't worry, वो भरेगा.
So I hope like if in this game if it's the same like Horizon but with some sort of a story, I would love it. I would really love it. So let's see. Plus it's the Crew, which means a huge map. I imagine a massive map to explore.
अरे वो उनका कौन सा गेम था यार? You could fly boat. Crew ही था क्या? Crew 2 था ना? Oh fuck, that was impressive. That was a lot of fun to do that. When you're flying and then you car you just drop to the ground, then you boat बन जाओ, कुछ भी करो. It looked some weird toy, एकदम toyish वाला
Transformers.
हाँ, Transformers जैसा. Sushil, what do you think of Motorfest?
Personally, I think again, Darren, don't get angry regarding this. There is a limited space for fighting games, and there is, I feel, a limited space for racing games too.
How dare you?
Racing games
पे PlayStation पे potential है for this to find a good audience. जिनको Horizon चाहिए.
Yeah, might be, but like
I mean, that has to be their main target. PlayStation and maybe some of PC.
Yeah, it's like what I feel कि already वैसा एक चीज already है market में, and you are not doing anything to differentiate yourself from that. Like previously we saw games like Underground or games like Burnout Paradise or even the recent NFS game. What was the name? The most recent with the cel-shaded graphics.
Unbound.
Yeah. So that also had like a particular kind of a gimmick which set itself apart from other racing games, which I feel is sorely lacking for this game. There was not one thing. Like you remember, the thing that you said about Crew 2 was the fact that it was built on that gimmick that you could actually change to any mode at any point of time while during the race. This does not have any gimmick. This does not set itself apart from Forza Horizon.
You decide the gimmick.
You decide the gimmick. I mean, तुम अपने मन में सोच लो. So I feel that is the part where maybe giving it a little bit of character is where sometimes Ubisoft stumbles a little bit. I mean, जैसे उन लोग अपना वो बैटल रॉयल वाला गेम करने मांग रहे थे, याद है
that got cancelled.
Yeah.
It's not X-Defiant.
Futuristic type का and stuff like that.
Ghost
like,
Recon वाला था ना वो?
Yeah. And anything that they're making, like, you know, you see X-Defiant and you're calling it a COD killer or something like that. I mean, there is always a direct comparison to something else, and that I feel like it gets to avoid it because of certain IPs only. Ubisoft just say because of Assassin's Creed it sets itself apart in some cases because other people don't have anything similar like that. Far Cry, they have done Far Cry so well that other people are not be able to do anything better than Far Cry in that formula. But regarding this is where I feel character थोड़ा ज़्यादा important हो जाता है. They fail to imbue that character, and it does look like a Forza Horizon clone. I mean, I hope it's able to set itself apart regarding that. But एक character का होना बहुत ज़रूरी है. मतलब there needs to be something which sets itself apart.
Some USP.
Yeah.
Unique selling point.
Right.
Yeah,
I agree. I agree with that. Yeah. Hey, so, maybe because it's in Hawaii, it will be unique.
Yeah.
What else is there? और कुछ दिखाया था क्या? Just Dance के अलावा nothing, right?
They showed not skate. क्या है वो? Riders Republic getting a skateboard update.
चलो, very nice.
Division का mobile game दिखाया था.
But it is good. Like, but I also feel that I don't know whether Ubisoft can do this year on year. Like, maybe not. Maybe, yeah. Like, you know, because you expect them to come back next year and have another 4 games to show. That it's just expecting too much out of us, you know.
DLC दिखाएंगे, Outlaws का DLC, Mirage का DLC,
Skull and Bones का फिर से relaunch.
Skull and Bones का open beta दिखाएंगे तब.
Open beta.
Close. But overall it felt like a proper E3 showcase.
Right.
लंबे टाइम स्टेज पे आके लोग बातें कर रहे हैं. Just
Dance Spencer भी बैठा हुआ था.
वही मेन चीज फिल बैठा हुआ था वहाँ पे. एंड में चले गया वो सीट छोड़ के.
That was like, yeah, good fun, good showcase overall. I think the way Ubisoft Showcase went and the way it ended, like एकदम एक high note पे, मतलब ऐसा लग रहा है the whole showcase season ended. That was very nice to see. I think good on Ubisoft.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's it. You guys have anything to add?
No, that's all. I'm really excited about Mirage. I mean, I think it was understandable while I was talking about all that. But from all the games that they showed, I'm really interested in Mirage. And I can't wait for it to come out. There's a release date. It's just there are games after games after games, and again, I mean, this is the actual achhe din for, like, you know, for video games. The number of 80 plus games that have already come out, and we are already seeing like games like there is Yakuza game coming out. There is then there is Alan Wake 2. Then there is Assassin's Creed. बोलने से भी दुख हो रहा है, मतलब टेंशन हो रहा है. मैं नाम तो भूल जा रहा हूँ बीच में. Spider-Man 2, you know, it's just a chocker block with like amazing games that are going to come out. I just can't wait.
GTA 6.
GTA 6 trailer teaser कुछ भी. It's just such an amazing time for video games, and I hope people can, I mean, enjoy this because
इसमें पहली बार ऐसा हो रहा है ना कि like December is not packed with games.
Right.
Like normally December के time like we get some big hitters for the Christmas period.
So November, this time is September, October.
Yeah, September, October, November में like दबा के, and अभी वाला period जो था like
right.
जो चल रहा है अभी with like, you know, all these games coming out, fighting games coming out, and yeah.
Good strong year, man. Lots of games. मजा आएगा. चलो, with that, you were watching Press Start to Play, India's #1 podcast. मजा आया तो लाइक वाइक कर देना यार, always helps. जहाँ भी हो सब्सक्राइब कर लो, रेटिंग दे दो, कमेंट भी कर दो. We love reading your comments. उठा लेंगे कुछ इसमें से. But yeah,
content बनाएंगे.
Yes. तुम्हारा कंटेंट तुम्ही को दिखाएंगे वापस. ये देखो तुमने क्या बोला. But yeah, all right, guys. Sushil, Darren, thank you for joining in. Bye bye.
Bye bye.